As we move into conference season 2026, one of my favorite activities is watching the industry conversations before any of the initial announcements actually happen. Yeah, the keynote presentations are interesting, as are the product launches and their associated press releases. But if you really want to understand where public safety is headed, just watch who's standing next to each other in the hallways. Watch who's meeting for coffee. Watch who's suddenly sharing some booth space. Watch for companies starting to get mentions in each other's presentations, because that's where the future usually shows up first. And this year, I think we're beginning to see something that may be fundamentally changing how we think about emergency response. And that's coming up next on Tips Today in Public Safety.
Welcome to Tips Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories in public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to Tips Today in Public Safety. This is Fletch. I'm a NENA certified ENP. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday each week, I try to bring you the latest in public safety, innovation, and technology. So this week, we're not only going to postulate on what the future in public safety might bring us, but we're going to talk a little bit about how to read the tea leaves during conference season and try to pick up on those intelligent clues that are getting dropped in the hallways and the coffee shops adjacent to the main exhibitor hall. Now, clearly this year, AI is the hot topic. That's no big mystery. So let's take a look at where AI may be taking a seat at the 911 table. Now, for decades, most emergencies involved three sets of hands. You got the person experiencing the emergency, you've got the public safety professionals that are handling the emergency call, and your third set of hands are the responders arriving to manage the physical event. Three sets of hands, three sets of participants, three different perspectives. But today, more and more, a fourth set of hands is beginning to appear, virtually speaking: artificial intelligence. Now, before anyone panics, I'm not talking about replacing dispatchers, and I'm not talking about replacing responders. No, we're not going to talk about the robot that shows up at your front door and then forcibly hauls you away because you live at 436 Easton Street when the person with a heart attack is actually at 436 Eaton Street. Now, what I'm talking about is something much more subtle, and perhaps it's more significant. You see, artificial intelligence is beginning to participate in emergencies well before the humans even realize an emergency exists. So think about that for just a moment. A camera observes unusual behavior. An analytics platform can identify a developing threat. Building management systems can detect smoke, flooding, and equipment failures. Or a cybersecurity platform identifies what it sees as malicious activity. Maybe a transportation system identifies abnormal movement, or a sensor picks up on a hazardous condition. In each one of these cases, artificial intelligence may be the first thing to recognize that something isn't normal. Not the dispatcher, they haven't been notified yet. Not the responder, they're still sitting in quarters waiting for the tones to drop. And maybe not even the person that's affected. No, the machine notices first. And that's something that can change the dynamics of public safety as we know it in ways that we're only beginning to understand. You see, historically, technology just generated information. Sensors tripped, cameras recorded video, maybe a door opened, or a phone rang. The human took all that information and interpreted the meaning. But now we're entering into a period where technology doesn't simply generate data. Yeah, IoT can still generate observations, but the intelligence layer above it starts to generate conclusions. And that allows the entire system to be able to generate context. And when you get enough context, that can start generating recommendations. And that's a very different role that's emerging. You see, the AI isn't just reporting what happened. No, it's helping us shape what happens next. Now, absolutely, that doesn't mean that we just blindly trust the machine. Far from it. Public safety has spent decades learning the difference between information and awareness. We've talked about that countless times here on Tips. No, more data doesn't automatically create better decisions. In fact, we know that too much data often creates confusion. But what makes this different is that AI may help organize information into something that's more useful than unorganized data. That's not replacing the human, that's supporting the human. Think back just a week or so ago when we talked about public safety event packages. The goal wasn't to throw more information at the 911 emergency call center. No, the goal was to provide meaningful context, building information, indoor maps, sensor information, access control status, and even camera feeds, as well as occupancy information, related events, and all of it was categorized around a single incident. You see, artificial intelligence, I believe, is going to be one of those tools that helps us create that context. And that's where conference season is going to get interesting. Because today, I don't believe any single company owns the entire incident. One company may provide cameras, another may provide analytics, while another may provide the building systems, and yet another providing the emergency notifications. Now, yeah, there's been some consolidation, but there's a lot more that can happen. And while some provide mapping, others provide communications, and yet others the NG911 connectivity. For years, all these systems operated largely in parallel, and maybe that was the problem, because today they're increasingly being asked to work together. Now, to me, that means that the next generation of public safety innovation just might not come from a single breakthrough product. It may actually come from some unexpected mashup of technology that happens through a partnership, like a camera company partnering with a building automation company, the emergency management platform partnering with the sensor provider, or the mapping company partnering with the responder application, and the enterprise safety platform partnering with the NG911 ecosystem. After all, that's where the data starts. Yet when you pull it apart, the real story may not be artificial intelligence itself. The real story might be what artificial intelligence forces the rest of the industry to do. Collaborate. Share information. Exchange context. Because that's what's going to drive us to connect systems that were never originally designed to work together. And that's because the fourth set of hands doesn't actually solve the emergency problem. The fourth set of the hands helps the other three work more efficiently together. And I think that's the part of the conversation that often gets missed. We spend so much time asking whether AI will replace people, but public safety's never really been about replacing people at any level. It's about helping people make better decisions when seconds matter. The future isn't human versus machine. No, the future is humans working alongside tools that can observe more, correlate more, and organize more information than ever before. So the question isn't whether artificial intelligence is coming to public safety. No, look around, it's already here. The real question is whether we're prepared to integrate it thoughtfully, responsibly, and effectively into the systems that protect our communities today. Because if conference season 2026 is going to be any indication of the next few years, they're going to be less about individual products and more about entire ecosystems coming together. And if that does happen, we just may find out that the most important participant in tomorrow's emergency isn't replacing anybody at all. It's simply becoming the fourth set of hands, virtually speaking. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and as always, if you're in public safety, thanks for everything that you do every single day. This is Fletch. We'll catch you next time. Take care.
You've been listening to Tips Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Catch past episodes on 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10 spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good.